April 2023, we've teamed up with DESA MTA to release How Will I Make It, a video filmed entirely on Hi8 tape now available on our Patreon. How Will I Make It is a look into DESA's life, being consumed with graffiti from morning till night. Labeled the $1 million vandal by the Daily News, DESA is one of very few writers to have served time in a maximum security prison over vandalism charges. Aside from legal issues, a lifetime of graffiti has left DESA with a crippled body. Yet still today, he remains committed to bombing despite the life-changing consequences he's faced. The video features DESA taking tags on everything from parked motorbikes to walls, daytime and nighttime, sporting an Eddie Bauer backpack filled with paint, only stopping to walk into a deli to re-energize himself. He's been in New York representing MTA for years and documenting graffiti all the while. The video documents DESA bombing the borough of Brooklyn, a look into photos DESA has shot on trains and tunnels from a past era, as well as a session of DESA hitting a sketchbook with various black and silver ink markers. The full video is now available on our Patreon. We're also releasing a limited rerun of Angel and Z Radio Silver Mops. These mops are going to be sent to our Patreon members while supplies last for the month of April 2023. The mops contain silver ink in a 2-ounce plastic body and are available exclusively through our Patreon. Members also gain access to our video library, featuring videos like Savvy OTR, All We Got Is Us 2, Mike Iraq Virtual Reality, full episodes from Ichabod Why Me, Curve TGE, DESA MTA, written interviews from Deceive Smart Crew, Cheek, You Won't, and more. As always, immense thank you to everybody who supports the show in any way. We appreciate it more than you know. Enjoy the episode. Peace.
Hey, this is Claw Money, and you're listening to Angel and Z, sponsored by Art Primo. What is Art Primo, you ask? How dare you? Art Primo is a graffiti shop that was started by writers for writers in Seattle in 2001, and they have stayed true to their roots for over 20 years. Offering everything from caps to inks to paint to refillable mops. They got nibs, they got jibs, they got caps, solids, zines, books, and more. And their how-to videos and YouTube channel are legendary. Art Primo strives to keep their prices low and quality high, hand pouring all of their mops and inks in their Seattle warehouse. Shipping orders on the same day, and their site is a source of information for all types of writing tools. Tools for what? Tools for the revolution.
Thanks for coming on the show, first of all. It's a huge honor for us, and thank you to Jackie for helping us set this up.
Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you, Dessa.
Thank you.
So you began writing in an era so different from the one that we're in now. You've spent time in maximum security prisons on vandalism charges, and the things that you have gone through would have anyone else just never picking up a can again. You've faced the court systems on your own and found yourself in Rikers Island among several other facilities. Today, what does graffiti mean for you in your life?
It's, I don't know, really, it's just part of my life. It's just part of me. How do I put it? It's more serious than anyone could ever imagine. Like, I take it serious because I risk a lot. Just for a marker tag and come in and try to give me a year, you know. So it's just part of me. It's like one of those things. It's just not. It's just not stopping. Like, you know, it's not gonna stop. Unfortunately, like, to put me away, you know, it did nothing but they try to break you, you know, to get you like to learn, but they break you in the other way. So it's just like I'm broken. So that's the best way I can put it. So I don't think I'm gonna ever. Not that I'm saying, like, I'm actually doing anything, but I'm always going to do it. So, you know, other than that, like, it's the only way I can put it.
How did you initially start writing graffiti?
Because of the subway trains. I just would watch everything on the trains. And I pretty much would actually copy down the names of certain people. And then eventually, when I got a little older, I started writing because of that. Basically, that's really why I did it and do it. Because it's like something you can't, because it's like graffiti it was in constant motion. It's barely staying still. It pulls in and it pulls right back out. So you're constantly like watching it fly by. So it's hard to explain the feeling unless you're on the inside when it's just all like markers and shit drippy. You know? But yeah, like that's probably another reason why I'm still stuck in my system, because from that era, growing up witnessing that, like knowing the difference between that and what goes on nowadays.
When train era kind of like started to fade away, and that was like a big deal back in the days, like, did you think that graffiti was essentially gonna die? Because, you know, there was people throwing up like murals and pieces with tombstones saying like graffiti's dead, or did you know that it was gonna go to the streets and stuff like that?
Well, I pretty much no, I knew it wasn't. Yeah, I knew it was already there. So it was already on the highways because I was painting on highways too. So at that time, that's when it pretty much died and ended. I was started to come, start. So I already knew it wasn't going anywhere but on everything on the streets. You know what I mean? The highways and the station. But then they started to clean the highways. They started to clean the station. But still, the streets lasted a long time until. It's kind of funny. They wanted to, like, I think, sue people or give people fines for having graffiti on their property. But you couldn't do that because they're victims of crimes. Like, how you going to people, they're victimizing them, and then you're going to victimize them again? You can't do that. So now they're going to get this other bullshit, graffiti-free shit. And then they would, without that, they wouldn't have been able to buff the whole city the way they did. So, because people ain't going to shut my store up and paint my fucking gate. Like, you know what I mean? It makes no sense because they're going to lose money. But it makes the neighborhood look scary and dangerous. Like, no, everything else going on does, like the drugs, and that's what it was. It's like, it's just fucking ridiculous, man. Like, because when I lived in East New York when I was younger, it's like that neighborhood was so bad. I mean, so bad. It's just like murder and crack. It's all there was. So it's like, and I never had a problem there, but it was just, I was used to it. So. But it was just so bad, and to think back about like how that was and how things are today, when people mention the crack era, it's like you don't even understand what that means. Like, it's like living there was crack vials everywhere on the sidewalk, every block. It's like literally everywhere. You could stepping on them; they were fucking everywhere. If they were worth money, you'd be rich, But they weren't. So, but yeah, it's like that's part of like that whole era too. Like for me, that's like. When I was doing it, so that when I got in all that trouble, it's kind of like it still baffles me, because it's still early on, and like when I got in all the trouble, it's like what the fuck I do? I'm still wondering right now, and still trying to find out.
How often do you think about that era of time versus the one that we're living in now, and how different it is?
I don't think about it or dwell on it, but unless I come across like photos that I got, a ton of photos, but. I mean, or if I gotta explain it to somebody, if someone asks me. But yeah, I mean, I don't really dwell on it really much because I'm trying to live now. Like, because today is and these are the good old days. Like today, it's like yeah, that was good. But if I'm dead tomorrow, I can't come back. So you got to do as much of whatever it is you're gonna do now, right? I mean.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but what is your sticker? What is your picture? What is your photo collection like?
Jackie's asking, what is your photo collection like?
Because it must be sick.
Good question, Jackie. All right, yeah. No, it's pretty crazy, really. Actually, it's a lot. It's like I don't know, it's just like trains, freights, streets, everything. Highways. It's a lot. I see tons, about tons. Like. I mean, yeah, it's so much that it's annoying. I want to like throw them away sometimes, but I got everything in storage and put away right now. So it's like, and I don't even have everything that I originally had. So it's like I'm missing a lot,
But it must be crates. I can probably like web. I can just imagine.
Yeah, like everyone wants to get at them, and I'm trying to. Like,
And you took all of these.
I took well, depending on not the subways from the '80s. I kind of got them through people, but I took like from like 90 on, like all the 90s stuff and stuff like that. But in freights and stuff. But the subways I got through people that were taking photos at the time, because even though I wanted to, I didn't have a camera. My mom wouldn't give me the camera, and she's like, "You're gonna get the shit stolen, blah, blah, blah. Break it." So she wouldn't let me. So I wanted to take pictures, but it didn't happen. So I just watched it all like fade away. But I got pictures from people over the years, which I kind of like keep hidden, because it's like. I don't know. It's like that era, and then after that, and it's like those, up to a point. It's kind of like I just took pictures of everything at one point. Even in like 2000, 99, 2000, 2001, I was taking pictures because everything wasn't buffed yet. But I knew they were gonna buff everything. It was just something I saw coming. So I just took pictures of just everything, like gates, fill in there. So I got like all that shit too. So I got like from like 90 onwards, up and even today with my phone. And plus I got like all these other digital cameras that I use, so. I try, you know, even it doesn't matter what it is or who it is. It depends. If I don't want to like it, I won't take it. But you know, because people think I don't know. Well, then I guess today the mentality of younger people, they don't know any better like than what it is. So if they're gonna buff the gate in a month, that's what it is to them. Do you know what I mean? It's a month, and that's all they got. So that's kind of good in a way. But for me, I'd be like, nah, I'm gonna go to the other gate because it's gonna last 6 months, you know, like because I don't want to get a caught for that gate and for nothing. I'll be in jail before and be clean before I get out, you know. It doesn't make no sense. But yeah, like that's why I documented. And everyone wants pictures, and I'm like, nah, man, like I ain't doing that shit no more. Like I did it too many times, like too many people. It's like forget that, man. Like I'd rather just burn them and shit. Yeah, and sometimes like some people don't bother me and shit. I don't know. Like it's just so much.
No, it's crazy because it makes me think, like, just you talking about your collection and, like, you know, you being so consistent and dedicated for decades, you know, and everything you've been through with graffiti. It's like the only subculture, you know, with, like, skateboarding, music, like, other arts, like, it doesn't really have a financial benefit to it, you know what I mean? So, like, you really have to have immense passion to keep doing what you're doing, you know what I mean, even to this day.
Yeah, or it's a sickness, probably. I don't know. It's like a compulsion, addiction, a sickness, and it's passion. I guess that, yeah, it's just that. The only thing with me is, like, I don't want to be, like, sound like a bitch, but it's like, I don't, like, the whole jail incarceration thing, I don't get it. Like, why me? Why me all the time? But I know they don't look at me as me now. They look at me as the kid that I was then. Because they bring up this name that I'm labeled with, and I fucking hate it. You know what I mean? It's like I hate that. It's like, yo, people don't understand. They bring it up, and I was telling the cops last time, like, you know, they'd be like saying, I was like, yo, dude, you're like a professional. You're an adult. Don't say that. That's like that's not real. That person you're talking about is not real. It's like Bigfoot or God. You know, like like that. The Easter Bunny. That's what I compare it to. It's like $1 million van. It's not a real person. It never existed. You know, it doesn't exist. It's just not there. You know, so, but they do that. Because it's it's like a fucking it's like they got to name something and give it a fucking fucked up name, so that's what they do, and it's just kind of a joke. But I'm just like, it's just I don't know, man. Like, what is it with like? Because if you send me to jail again, it's not gonna do anything. It's gonna make me worse. I'm gonna come out more fucked up in the head than I was all the other times. You know, because you don't come out okay. You come out fucked up. You're paranoid and shit. Like you're never the same. You know, it's like you don't have nothing that happen to you. It's just everything that happens around you affects you later on. Like because it doesn't affect you because you're immune to it. But it's just hard to explain. And that's what they understand. So that's not going to do anything. It's just going to make it worse. It's just okay. I'm going to be off the street, but okay, I'll be back out. In a short period of time. But I don't know, I'm just too old to want to do that shit anymore,
What was going through your mind when you first got apprehended and it seemed like you were facing jail time to when you were, on the bus going up north and it's just you facing that alone? What was going through your mind?
Oh, well, the first time I got probation. They were trying to give me jail time when I was like 17. It was a little ridiculous. It was the first time I got arrested as like what you consider, adult 16, go through central booking. So everything before that was my parents would pick me up or something, So I really didn't understand it, and then I got probation, which was a trap. Really, they knew I was going to get rearrested. They knew that, so they said, "Let's put him on probation, and give him community service. He's too young and he's too deep into this that he's just going to keep doing it," which I did. So I got arrested like a year or so later, and then they got to me with a felony, and then they indicted me. So I don't know none of that shit, what that means. We'll go to court, my brothers, and then I'm like, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And then we leave court, my brother's, I'm like, what? He's like, what does that mean? He's like, it means you're going to prison, I was like, no, what do you mean, like jail? He's like, no, prison, years. They're giving you years now. Like, it's like, what do you mean years? That's crazy. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. He's like, yeah, they're giving you 1 to 3 years. That's 3 fucking years, no matter what. In the end, it's 3 years. You got to deal with, inside or out. So I still didn't know, and I was going to court every month, and then eventually I understood, but I just had to take it, and then I went to court. I got sentenced, and I went, and then honestly, being in prison, it's like I felt like I was on the moon. Like it was just didn't make any sense to me. I was like lost. It really was like the craziest shit. It just from one day to the next, you still can't like, wait, am I really? What am I doing here? And it's like And you with people at first, you with everybody at first, when you go through the fucking reception jail, which was a maximum security one. So it's like, you got people that are hundreds of years, literally, like they're fucking never gonna come out. So it's kind of like, what is this? You know, I don't understand. It makes no sense. Even my counselor, when I got to my main facility, was, you know, she called me and 2 other dudes that came in that she had to see, she didn't meet yet. So she seen me and she went to my camera. She said, "Oh, you first. I want to talk to you." I was like in the office, and she's like, "All right, tell me what you really did. Like, come on, do you light cars on fire and broke the windows on, you know, and like a used car lot or a car lot?" I'm like, "Nah, I wish I did, but I didn't, you know." And she's like, "It's really what it says." I'm like, "Yeah, it really is." I'm like, and she got really angry, you know, because she sees all the time all these, you know, even though this time it's a white kid, but usually it's a Puerto Rican or a black kid that could have been done something else to them, but they sent them to prison. Because she knows what's going to happen. Like, you're not going to come out of this okay, because this jail is, they're fucking crazy, and they're all young, you know what I'm saying? So they don't know how to act. They didn't know how to act before. They didn't learn how to act yet. They're not going to learn, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, so she was really upset with that, you know, because she's in it, you know, and it's kind of, she's like living in reality, and like everyone else, you know, threw me up, you know, up there, and it's like they don't, so it's like, I still don't understand it, you know. I understand that I don't want to go there, man, you know, but that's, other than that, I don't understand it. It's just like, it's hard to explain when you can't, like, understand it yourself, you know. You just, like, wake up, do whatever you can, keep yourself busy, go to sleep, wake up. And that's all I did, you know. Other people just like laying around like fucking bummed. I don't know how to do it, you know, like vegetables and shit. I don't know, you know. I think that's a little harder. Time just stops, you know.
Is that where your book collection comes from? Like, were you reading a lot?
Well, I was reading that, but it started probably after that. But I was doing that. I was reading. I was doing, you know, word puzzles and word search, all that type of shit, like stuff like that. And what else? Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I was reading, you know. And it's like, but I read more when I got out, you know. I just started reading. I was in a drug program, and I had to go like every day, and so I would read the paper, and it's like, you know, I don't read sports and shit, so you read like first whatever many pages, and I throw it away. So I needed something to read, so I just started reading books, and then I got into like it was that I got addicted to. So, you know, it's like, you know.
So when you were in prison, like, let's say take it back to like when you're 1 month in, what was going through your mind when you're in there? Like, did you have hope that, oh, maybe I'll get out before a year, or maybe this will end randomly? And what was some of the shit that you would see when you were in there? Because you went to some pretty gnarly ones.
Well, yeah. Well, at first, I was waiting. Like the first month, it takes 3 to 4 weeks, pretty much, to take you upstate. You don't go up right away. It's like, you know, you get 3-4 week period. No, I knew I wasn't getting out, because I know it's like a year, and with that state is 12 months. It's 12 months, and then that's if you don't get in trouble, like get tickets and lose good time, or whatever. Fuck, there's all types of things that go on. But I was. Whereas at Queen's House, and I went to C-74, so, because that's where you got to go to get the bus, you know. It's like fucking, it's where the bus leaves from. So you go there, so they put you with sentenced inmates, separate from the adolescents, you know. Because I was like, at that time, 19, you're considered an adult, you're not a kid, so, you know, they keep you separate. And then from there, like, I didn't think I was going to get out sooner. I couldn't think anything. I just tried not to think about it, and I took, like I said, every day, you know, a day at a time, until they wake you up and tell you, you know, or, you know, downstairs, wherever. Wake you up and you go. That's it. And you don't take nothing with you, because you can't keep anything, because you give everything away. Because once you get there, you got to throw your shit away or send it home if it's worth anything. But it's like, so that's all. I just wanted to get up there, because nothing is going to get started until you get there. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just annoying. It's just sitting around waiting for, like, almost like you're going to die, you know. And that's what it felt like, actually, before I got sentenced. I feel like, you know, like, what the fuck? That's what it felt like, you know, going in. And it gets put off for so long, and then they're just like, all right, you gotta, like, either go to trial or take a plea, you know. So like, but then the whole courtroom was full with all these jerk offs, like, you know, politicians, cops, like that. I mean, the whole thing. Supreme Courts are not that big. They're like smaller than criminal courts, so there's not many cases in there during the day. There's only a few. Those judges, like, you know, because I guess they're higher up, so they don't have that many cases. So, you know, like, the whole fucking courtroom was full of people. There wasn't even room for them, so they had, like, someone to stay inside. Just for me, like, you know, like I killed, like, a little kid or something. You know what I mean? Like they made the Amber Alert about me. You know, it's kind of ridiculous. I don't know. It's just that's the most annoying part of it. You know, to me, it was just like, what the fuck is this, man? Like,
Do you think they were just like trying to make an example out of you to like eradicate graffiti in the city at the time, or
Well, that's what they said, but they wanted to. That's another thing that I realized they wanted me to suffer. They really did, like, because you don't, when you get there, you see this is a crazy place, like, you know what I mean. You could get stabbed, hurt, and stomped out for nothing, And I mean, not that like nothing happened. You just know how to handle yourself, and you're fine. You know what I mean? It's like there's other people that are just morons that just bring it on themselves and just have things happen to them. But it's just that I really felt like they used that as an excuse. What they did the last time I got arrested, like all the money worth of damage I did, which is they didn't give a shit about that. They just don't care about that. And I just told my lawyer, I was like, oh, if I gotta go to jail, I gotta go to jail. But I'm telling you, I'm not gonna come out any fucking better. I'm gonna come out worse. So nothing's going to change. So she, I spoke with the DA, and they went a different route this last time, and gave me probation. I had to go to a drug program, and then do outpatient, which I'm still doing. But I mean, I definitely preferred that to go to jail, but I would have went, like, because I'm not going to tolerate like this. I'm not going to be like, oh, please go, like, I'm just going to go, like, but she had, was a good lawyer, so she had, like, because they weren't really trying to hear anything anyway, but jail, again, it's because in Queens, Queens is like, forget it. It's like another world. Like, I tell people, like, you're out of your fucking mind if you write graffiti in Queens. You're out of, you deserve whatever you get, dude. It's not even funny. Like, I don't even want to like spit on the ground in that fucking borough. It's scary. I'm like, I legitimately like don't want to fuck with that borough. Like, it's not good.
It really is crazy that like you're doing time with people who have done violent crimes. Like you're doing crime with people who you could say like with no argument, like they did shit that is like immoral. Like they hurt people, and then your whole life's gonna be affected by this because even when you get out, you're gonna. You've seen what you've seen, and you went through what you went through.
Yeah. Like, there's people, a lot of them, when you go up to, like, that first spot downstate, it's like, these people, you see them, you go to the mess hall every 3 times a day, so you'll see them in the tunnel, because you connect to them, and it's like, you see these people that you've seen on the news, before you even got sentenced, and these are the dudes that committed crimes, have shot up people, and so these people, like, got so much time, and it's like, they're on the news, and they're all on the news for drug cases and things like that, and you see them. Or you were with them before you went up, so it's kind of like, it's weird, like, you know who they are, so it's just like, but you're all the same pretty much, in a sense, like, as far as that, even though they're not probably going home, but you're still a fucking inmate, you're still, like, up there, it's like the correctional officers don't look at white people, they say they thought they were funny. They was like, oh, yo, the 2 of them see me, and they were like, oh, we came out. He's like, oh, we're curious, wondering where you're from. He thinks you're from Albany. I think you're from Buffalo. I was like, nah, man, I'm not. I'm from Brooklyn and Queens. He was like, oh. He's like, all right, but you're gonna be good, man, because all your fucking friends are here. It was like they're real like assholes, like racist fucking. So they don't like if you're white and you're from the city, you're just a fucking piece of shit. So it's like it's just a whole fucked up mentality. I mean, some of them okay, but a lot of them are just jerk-offs.
So when you were in one of those prisons, Scuff was there?
No, Kez 5 was there. Kez was in the same jail as me. He's a funny dude. He threw up in the mess hall. I said, yo, what's up, Kez? What are you doing? He said, and then he threw a potato at me, potato tot. He's like, no, it's just yo, whoa, yo, I just want to get your attention. I was like, yo. And it's just like, I was like, oh my God, man. It's before he died, he'd bring me up, like, yeah, man, potatoes, man. Jesus Christ, man, he's a fun dude. I remember the first thing I seen before I ran into him, a pickup truck for the inmates that pick up the garbage. It was painted like camouflage green and shit. On the back passenger side, it was a big white Kes 5, like with a white crayon or a mean streak. It was ridiculous. It just pulled up in front of me. I was going to the package room to get shit, and then it was just like, it's too much right now. This fucking dude. But I knew he wasn't on the side I was on. He was on the other side. So I only got to see him sometimes because the mess halls are connected. If you went in the mess hall, you could walk over to the other side and go to the yard. Sometimes you sneak over, but yeah. So we weren't on the same sides, like, unfortunately. But
How do you think the time that you spent in?
Oh, I was with Scuff though. But Scuff, I was with Rikers Island. Actually,
Okay.
that was when I got locked up again. When I paroled for like barely a month, I got rearrested again. So for like a year or more. So I was with Scuff then for a while. We were in. Well, I ran into him at different times. Like one time in one building, 3 different buildings. I ran into him. In T95, he was with PG, and he was just coming into the building, go to the intake. And I said, "What happened?" I threw my hands up, and then he just motioned like, pain. But then I said, "All right, I'm gonna come find you." So I knew his name because I wanted to get him, pull him out of where he was to get him. So I worked in the mess hall at night. So I wanted to, get him to come, work, get a job. But he already got bailed out. So then I ran into him in OBCC. He heard my voice in the cell. I don't know. He just yelling my name, and I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, who the fuck is that?" And he's like, "It's." I don't know, take his name out. I don't know if we can, but it's Scuff. And I'm like, "Oh, what's up?" I was like, "Yo," I answered a question, "Dude, yo, are you fucking bored, man?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" And they moved him down because he first got in, so he's across from me. And he's like, "No, what do you mean, my boy?" I was like, "Yo, why the fuck do I keep running into you? Because I don't know why you here still. Like, you don't go home." And, he's like, "You've been here forever." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, but answer the question." He's like, "Nah, man, I'm like, "I don't know. Like, I've been here, like you said, I've been here a long time. Like, you don't want to let me out." So yeah, then I ran into him again in the other building. We ran in the morning. It's kind of funny. He remembers. He's like, early in the morning, I'm walking in the basement, coming from I don't know, fucking commissary or something in the mornings. I had to go to work, so we go to the commissary early because we'd miss it. And I'm just walking, and he just walks up and goes, "Yo, what's up? Just woke up, yo." Like as if I just seen him like yesterday, and I hadn't seen him in a couple of months, because that's the last time we seen each other. And he's just like randomly like, "Yo, I just woke up, man. Yo, what's going on?" I'm like, "Where the fuck did you come from, dude? Like, I didn't even know, like, where'd you just come out of? Like a fucking." It's kind of funny though, but yeah. So we were together there for a bunch of months.
How do you think that time spent in prison affected your mind, even when you get out, the way you look at society or the way that you carry yourself?
I don't know. I look at things differently. Like, I probably have a better outlook on things. Like, I know like what like the repercussions are for me with my situation. That's why if I was to do painting, it's very like I just don't do it with really that many people. There's just like a few people I'll go with because I don't. There's so many people that are just not bright, and like it's good for them because nothing's gonna happen to them. They just go through the system or whatever. For me, it's like I got a lot to lose. Like I'm not, and then you're not gonna know all this until the last minute, So it's like I choose people like really carefully. So like, there's only a few people I paint with. People don't. So many people want to paint. I'm like, I don't know. I just don't want to do that. It ain't like I'm feel better than them or something. It's just that's what it is. It's just that whole point, like risking too much, So, and I'm not, and it's always at the last minute you'll find out that this person's just something wrong with them, So, that's so that's part of my outlook. But yeah, definitely my brain is I'm definitely a little fucked up and shit. But my emotions a little fucked up. But it's like you come out like I don't know. It's just hard to explain. Like to this day, I can't. My girl, like she knows not to come over and wake me, like because I'm unpredictable. I scream, I jump, I swing, I do anything because it's just everyone acts differently, and it's not like nothing bad happened to you. It's just that unexpectedness. And then I got hit by a car when after I got out, so that affects me too because it's just like this out of nowhere, it almost killed me. So. Dad, I woke up in the hospital not knowing I got hit by a car. I didn't know where I was. I didn't know where I was there. I couldn't talk. I had a trach in my throat. I couldn't breathe on my own. I was all fucked up. And I was in there like 2 months in the hospital, and it was a mess. So those two things are really traumatizing to me. So like, I don't know. That just makes me look at things like I'd rather, like I don't really care to like run around with everyone and meet people. I just try to just be by myself doing it, or just like 3 or 4 different people.
What happened when you got hit by the car?
I got fucked up. Like, yeah, this dude was drunk and coked up. I don't know. I hit the fucking front fender, went up and went through the windshield, like through the passenger side, like right. You figure like from the middle to the end where the passenger side is, a hole right through it. And then like the dude swerved and I went flying out like to the street, and I was just out on Avenue A, just like fucked up. My leg. This leg was like fucking twisted in so many different ways, and this leg was fucking broke. I broke both legs, my hip, my fucking bones in my face, my jaw. I got plates. I got tight things everywhere. I got plates and pins and all of it. But all I was trying to do was get on my feet, and they were like, "No, don't move, stop." Don't move. And then all I can remember is that I wanted to know who was pouring hot chocolate on my face because it was in the winter and shit. I'm looking up. I just got a haircut, a fade, and so my hat's not on, so it's like feel the cool air. But and then obviously later on, because I don't remember really anything from all that. The hot chocolate I remember, because the blood was coming out of my nose, out of my mouth, and up under here, like up from here on my eyes, because I broke all this shit in here. So I just was like, yo, who the fuck why would they do that? That makes no sense, And then I realized, it was the blood, it was all that. I lost so much blood too, What a mess. But yeah, like, I don't know. It's just, that affected me too, That's another thing too. That's like a big thing. I wear glasses because of that, because my fucking right eye's all fucked up. So, like, I don't know, man. Like, it shouldn't be alive, I guess. That's what they said, but you know what that means. Yeah. I shouldn't be alive, like, a lot of times already. And then recently, too, like, a bunch of shit. Like, not even going to get into all that, but I was almost, yeah.
So you got hit by the car after you had spent time in prison already?
Yeah, luckily. So, because, so I was just, like, I couldn't walk for, like, 6 months or something like that. Yeah, and then I had to, like, kind of, they wanted to, like, oh God! Once I feel like you want to what? They wanted to move me 2 months in there. They want to move me to another floor, for rehabilitation. Like I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to walk for months. What the fuck are you gonna move? I'm not staying here. You crazy? They want to like milk the no fault and all this insurance shit. And I'm like, no, it's not. And then like I want to go home. They won't give me a wheelchair. They won't let me leave. I'm like, I'm fucking leaving. I'm not staying here. You crazy? You're trying to Shanghai me, move me? I'm not. It's not gonna happen. And then the dude comes with crutches and goes, oh, if you can walk with the crutches, you can go home. And I'm like, I got really mad. And I'm looking at the crutches, so I took him, I threw him at the guy. And he didn't know why. And I was like, are you stupid? You playing games with me? How can I walk with crutches when I got 2 broken legs and a broken hip, And he's like, oh, you got 2 broken legs? I was like, are you kidding me right now? You better get out of here, man. I told my brother, yo, gotta go rent a wheelchair so I can get out of here. Because I'm not staying here anymore, because this is obviously ridiculous. So yeah, because they wake you up to give you fucking sleeping pills. It doesn't make no sense, Take your temperature. And I couldn't do it. You're not getting any rest in there. I just needed to go home. I couldn't take it being in no more. Because I woke up and didn't know why I was there. So it's like, what the fuck I want to be there for? I couldn't breathe for so long because you got a trach, you're alive, you're choking constantly. Like people that got COVID really bad, they're choking. Like, it's not even coughing. That's what it was like. You just cough and choke, and you got just phlegm in your chest, nothing but chunks and chunks of phlegm because you're in bed for so long. And I was so weak and drained and fucked up. They put you in a chair for like an hour a day so you could sit up. But I was so weak. I got so terrified of that chair I couldn't do it no more because I would slide out of the chair. I couldn't hold myself up. That's how bad it was. Because I didn't eat. I couldn't eat. My jaw was wide shut for like ever. Yeah, they put a feeding tube in my nose and shit. I think they gave me insurance or some fucking shit. I don't know what the fuck they were giving me. And just like a bag of fucking water, my IV.